Calling out all my nerds, freaks, and geeks. It's mob time.
Don't tune in cause it's showtime. Go ahead and call the gang up for the one time. Rap, food, rhyme, got them on the line. And my life's still great, I'm doing just fine. Hands up.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Blurred Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I am your host, Phoop, joined by my co-host, Antoine, and we are here today to give you our review of Wednesday Season 2 Netflix series. Wednesday Season 2 Part 1 started Wednesday, August 6, 2025, and then it came back for Part 2 Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025, with 8 full season being 8 episodes. So if this is your first time here, this review is going to be spoiler filled. So if you have not finished Wednesday, we highly recommend you pause this video, go finish the season, and come back and join us for the conversation. But let's hop straight into it, Antony.
All right.
So just starting overall, and then we're going to get into the weeds like we usually do. How did you feel about Wednesday Season 2 in comparison to Season 1?
Season 2 was pretty good. So, as we all know, it took a minute for season 2 to come around. Season 1 came out in
22.
2022. Yeah. So honestly, I thought by this time they probably was gonna I thought the show was gonna lose my interest. So when they first were talking about like dropping season 2, I was like, maybe I'll watch it in my spare time or something like that, or maybe I just might not watch it. But I enjoyed season 2. Season 2 was pretty good. Part 1 was enough to bring me in enough that I was actually anticipating part 2. So overall, it was good.
I agree. I don't think Wednesday lost my interest because it was a 3-year gap.
Hmm.
I don't think Wednesday lost my interest. But I will say with the gap, because when we watched it, when Part 1, I was like, damn, they're going to have to do a recap because I completely forgot what's going
Hmm.
on. And they did do a recap, and that was great. I did go back and rewatch Season 1 anyway. But I guess my concern going into it was like, damn, I forgot everything that fucking happened Season 1. So when we get into
Yeah.
Season 2, I ain't going to know what's going on. But they did a pretty good recap, and also they did a great way of just reestablishing everything in Part 1, kind of like a refresher of everything that was going on. So I didn't
Hmm.
feel too lost. I would also say that I liked this as much as I did Season 1.
I'll say that too. Yeah.
I can't think of anything bad. I do have a few nitpicks, but there's not anything that's like significantly bad about this season in comparison to Season 1 for me. Like, I think they kept the tone. I think the characters felt pretty much the same to me. Jenna Ortega is still great as Wednesday. Emma Myers as Enid. The whole Addams family and all of the characters surrounding it. It just, nobody felt different to me. And not
Yeah.
in like a bad way. You know how sometimes you get in there and characters act completely different and
Hmm.
it's like, oh, what's going on? Or you get there and then it's like some characters not having no fucking character growth, and then it's like, okay, so what's going on with you?
Hmm.
I feel like everybody had some growth,
Yeah.
but at the same time still felt like the same characters we were introduced into in
Yeah.
Season 1, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it was a nice continuation from where we left off, even though Pugsley came back as a whole
Hey, yo,
teenager.
he had a growth. The boy had a growth spurt, but that's how it be. I did see some complaints when they was like they waited 3 years and homeboy then shot up. He done slimmed down, shot up.
He did.
But sometimes that's how the boys be. Y'all be in school, y'all go home for the summer, play football outside for 3 months, come back and y'all look completely different. Now, am I
Yeah,
wrong?
you're right. You could hear it in his voice too. I was like, yeah, he definitely grown. He grown up. But
Now,
it was still a nice continuation, though. I like the way that they did it. They had him start at the school and stuff like that. And I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, okay, that was good. That was like the way they did that.
I see I mean, you can't help the growth spurts. But I get it to like this supposed to be like the next school semester, and this boy done grown a couple inches and then slimmed down. Unless the Addams family got some insane workout routine all going on with all that supernatural shit they got.
Mm-hmm.
Some the math's not mathing. That's not adding up.
It's all that stuff they be eating.
Oh, that shit is disgusting.
It's disgusting.
But but then that's what I like about the Addams family, that they're so they stick to that kooky supernatural. Like they're eating
Hmm.
dinner and you just think it's gonna be regular, and then there's some weird ass shit, and it's like, okay,
It's roadkill. It's the
mama.
whole possum head.
That's what I'm saying. Mama eating cookies with cobwebs and bugs and shit on it. And she just eat it. Delicious. You want some?
And you got the nerve to try to share that with me, girl, man.
like, like, fuck no, baby. We don't want that.
I already ate. I'm good.
I will say, because I think we talked about a little bit about this when we were doing our movie TV recap, and this was after we watched part one, that I was a bit concerned about all these plot lines that they had introduced in the first 4 episodes, because we were still doing the continuation of the Tyler thing. Then we had the zombie. We had Bianca's whole thing with Morning Song, and
Mm.
I don't know if Enid's thing counts as a separate plot line until we get to like the second part.
Yeah. It's kind of a setup for, I mean, obviously, yes, it's a setup for the next season, but it kind of was its own little subplot, going on in the back, not like a main focus, but like we're getting to this next. But here we're introducing bits and pieces for you now so that we can get to that. So it's just not like we're dropping this on you in season three. If
Or the part two. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So what I meant to say, the fourth plot line that I was looking for was the Wednesday trying to save Enid plot line. That was the one that I was missing. But the Enid, the Alpha Wolf whole situation is definitely going to continue in season 3, and I'm curious on how they're going to play into that. But
Mhm.
yeah, those 4 plot lines they established in season 1, and I was like, damn, y'all got a lot to wrap up if y'all
They did.
saying that this is an 8-episode season. And I will say, I think they closed it out pretty well.
They did. They did. It was
I
not. It was nicely tied. They started out with a couple different lines, but the way everything came together in the end,
Yeah,
that was nice. It was nice.
it was with the zombie turning out to be Tyler's uncle, and the lady that Wednesday had freed at the end being his mama.
Hmm.
Um, and then the zombie getting tied to her parents, and her parents always up to some shit. If
Always.
one thing about Morticia and Gomez Addams is that they was there. They was there.
They
They
were
was
there.
there. Cause she was like, cause I thought it was strange. You remember the scene where Gomez takes Pugsley to the Day of the Dead little celebration, and the zombie's there, and Gomez kind of looks at the zombie. He looks at him kind of hard. I was like, you must know this. You must know this man.
And when that happened, I was the only thing I was thinking in my head was, he was thinking that Pugsley went in there, he's letting the zombie go or something like that. I wasn't thinking like he has to know him. So bravo to you for putting that together, because I was just thinking, okay, he's my son is
I I
letting the
just feel
zombie go.
I just feel like he looked at him like he was really looking at him. Like,
Hmm.
not like, oh, there goes my son's zombie peg. You go along where my son at. Like, he really was looking at him, and and then when they got to the next episode, and they was like, oh, so and so zombie is Isaac, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's why you was in that man face like that.
I guess it should have. I guess I should have known, since the zombie actually sat there and stared at him too.
That's what I'm saying. Like they just having like they having a stare off.
They, oh, they
Like they just have.
go in there and rescue. Go there.
No. but for real though, because I was like, why are y'all staring at each other like you are
Mhm.
trying to escape?
Yeah.
And you don't know where your son at, and y'all just y'all doing the Spider-Man meme,
Yeah.
and then they get to the next part. He tell her that's Isaac. Okay, so you know this motherfucker
Right.
too.
Got it.
Here we
Here
go
we go.
again. Here we go. One thing about them, they always gonna be at the center of something. But I do like that everything that the way they handled the zombie plot, I think was my favorite part of season 2. Now, my little tidbit, nitpick, whatever you want to call it, I kind of feel like I won't say wasted Tyler, but I would say that if you were going to bring him over into season 2, I kind of feel like once his mama and his uncle got into play, they put that boy in the back seat and kept him in the back seat.
They
Like
did, and I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it either,
Hmm.
but I'm just saying, like, if y'all gonna put him in the season, then as like a direct antagonist to Wednesday, why y'all put this man on the back seat? Y'all could left him at the hospital for real.
He had to be the piece to tie it all together, I guess. But
And I feel that,
yeah,
and I agree with you. I'm not mad because Tyler's not my favorite character. Soon in season 1, when we find out he was with the shits, I was like, "Oh yeah, you're done. You're
yeah.
out of here." And I was like, I didn't want to see my girl with no boy anyway. I
You
didn't want
trying
to
to
see.
corrupt her? You trying to...
I didn't want to see her with no boy anyway. And my whole thing is with season 1, with them trying to do like the whole love triangle thing, but like with Wednesday as a character, I was like, she don't need that. She don't need that for real. And it showed in season 2, like the season was fine without her having some love interest and her going back and forth on dates and doing all this other stuff. Like it was still chill.
Hmm. I believe they're gonna harp on that a bit more though as we move
When
forward.
and
I think maybe in season 3 they probably gonna jump on that a little bit more.
what, her and Tyler, or
Probably so.
I don't want, man, and then they didn't set it up where he in the car with that lady, and I don't really know what her whole deal is, to be truly honest. The music teacher,
Oh yeah, I was getting weird vibes from her, and I kind of still do, but she hasn't done anything, I guess.
she hasn't done anything wrong. I'll
Yeah,
say that. Like all we know is that her boyfriend was a hide. Her daddy was a hide. What is she? She said she was half hide, half werewolf.
yes, yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And then she was helping Enid with like her alpha wolf transformation thing. And then we get to the end of the season, she walked on the toilet like, "Hey, you want to get in the car with me and go to this place where hides can hang out?" So it's like, okay, so what do you want with Tyler?
Hmm. I feel like she definitely has an ulterior motive, but we don't know what it is yet. I guess she gonna be the next antagonist in the whole.
I man, honestly, me, they dragging it out. That's why I was saying that my little bit, if because we're going to have Tyler in season 3, that's why it felt kind of weird to me that they put him in the back seat for the
Hmm.
whole zombie mama plot thing. Because they literally put his ass in the back seat of the car and kept him there.
Yeah, they did.
But then we get to season 3, and that was like, oh yeah, I'm finna get in the car with this lady. See y'all in season 3. What's there?
Right.
What should I look forward to?
Yeah. I don't believe. I kind of question whether Tyler is still gonna be like on the antagonist side.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna come over to the light side and he be helping out the gang again. Honestly,
I well, would you say honestly? Would you even say he was helping them to begin with? Because if we want to spin the block to season 1,
yeah, that's true.
like he basically presented himself as the mastermind or one of the masterminds of the whole thing. We know that his master was oh girl, um, the plant teacher from the previous
Hmm.
Christina Ricci. So I don't know. I can see him getting into season 3 and turning a leaf if that lady's not on no fuck shit. Like if she genuinely is taking him to a place where he can understand like his whole height thing and what it's like to live without a master and all this other stuff. I could see him like leveling out a little bit. But at this point, I don't know. And
Yeah.
really, I'm more interested in the Enid Alpha plot and
Hmm.
if and when Wednesday finds her, what is that whole thing going to look like? Then I'm concerned about where this lady taking Tyler.
Hmm. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting because at the end of the season, the school year was over, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
they were going into the summer. So I'm curious if they're gonna stay away from the school a bit more. Like for the next season, if they're gonna like focus on the summer part of it and we don't really hit on the school as much, I kind of would be interested to see that.
I would be interested to see that too. Um, Maybe we learn more about like different creatures and things like
Hmm.
that, and maybe something else is going on. Enid ends up by this nearby town, and now Wednesday wants to play investigator on like what's going on up in this area.
Hmm.
That would be cool to see because now another principal gone. Now we getting into a Harry Potter situation. To where every year one of the administration gotta get their
At
ass up
this,
out of here.
like at this,
Uh-oh. It said Antoine's recording has stopped. Are you back?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at
It's
this point, like the school needs to do some hard investigation into what they got going their administration.
now I will say, because going back to how they wrapped up the plot lines, I will say that the Principal Dort morning song situation was probably like my least favorite plot line. Because I think we talked a little bit about this offline. Like when he showed up, I was like, there's something weird with you.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the reveal came out that he was the one that set up the whole morning song thing and he was trying to extort Wednesday's grandma for all that money and he was using Bianca in her siren song like he was using her mama. And I was like, this isn't surprising to me. This isn't a jaw dropping plot twist to me.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that's like they treated that as this is the kind of the main plot, like the straight line. Everybody kind of can see that the principal was the bad guy. We could all see that from a mile away. So honestly, that's why I kind of said maybe that's why nothing was really surprising to us for him when we all figured out when we figured out what he had going on towards the end. But I think I guess it was maybe the side stories that really carried season 2 and not the main plot line, if that's how they're treating that one at least.
Well, would you consider that a main plot line? No, I kind of think that was a subplot.
What do you think the main one was?
The
Well,
main
I
one is
guess
Wednesday trying to save Enid.
mm, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I would count the Principal Dort situation as a side plot because it's more of a continuation of Bianca's thing from the end of the
Hmm.
season, like when her mama showed up and her trying to run away from Morning Song. So now we're getting into Bianca trying to handle her mama being in hiding around Nevermore, and the Wednesday main plot keeps getting in her way because you remember she had her mama at that hotel. But because
Hmm.
Wednesday told Uncle Fester to do something to get his ass arrested and get sent to the hospital, they found her mama at the
That's
hotel and then
mm-hmm.
had to put her in the school. Now how
Hmm.
Principal Dort found out that she was hiding her mama out at this school, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you're right on that. And seeing it as a subplot, it kind of is subpar. It wasn't. It wasn't all of that. So I mean, I guess they needed something, but
I
it,
understand them putting him in there because they needed something to like expand and do something to wrap up the morning song thing because at this point I don't think they're gonna do anything else with this morning song stuff. He didn't
probably
burnt
not.
that man Gideon to ashes.
Ooh, that got
They
me.
he said, yeah. And tossed his- hey, what's that scene on Twilight when she tossed that baby in that fire?
That part got me when he tossed that man's skeleton in that fireplace. That
I
got
was
me.
I was
I
like,
was so,
I did not think you was gonna do that.
I said, okay, he about it.
Um, what was I about to say? And then Ajax used this little Medusa thing, turned him into stone, and they crushed him. And I was like, okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess that's it. We're free
Wraps
from
that up.
Morning Song. Hooray! But yeah, that wasn't my favorite plot line
Mm-hmm.
of the whole thing, but I understand why they did it.
Yeah. I guess it was obvious from the jump. Yeah, like I said, it was obvious from the jump that he was going to turn out to be a bad guy. So, yeah, wrap it
Yeah,
up with a bow and get him out of there.
I guess just tying him into the Morning Song thing, like that whole first scene when he was talking to Gideon at the bar, and I had already, and once I saw him and saw that man, I was like, oh, y'all working together. And then the rest
Mm-hmm.
of it was just like basic monologue to me. Like nothing about, as soon as I saw them two together, the rest, none of that shit felt surprising to me no more.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I was like, y'all gave us this flashback scene for what? It would have been better had Gideon showed up at the school, and I would be like, "Ah, he's here," and then Principal Dort reveals himself to be in cahoots, and so Bianca's like, "Wait, you know him?" And then they get into arguing about the money, and then he burns him alive, and then she's just so confuddled and confused because like she was already confuddled and confused anyway, but I would have been confuddled and
hmm
confused with her if
the way
it
her
had went
face was exactly
what.
how my face was. She
I
was.
like
That's exactly how I was looking. I was
I
like,
was
God
like,
damn.
if we had found, I would say if we had found out their connection at the same time Bianca found out their connection, I honestly felt like that would have been a better plot twist.
Yeah.
Because I'm so focused on how this man got into the school. What is he going to do with Bianca? Does he know Bianca's mom is in this castle? And Principal Dort turns around and burns his ass to a crisp. And that's like, right. Got
Yeah. Got it. Get rid of him real
it.
fast.
Right.
But I wonder how it would have turned out had they not used the morning song to make him reveal everything. So I wonder if he would have just got the money from grandma and kept going as the principal, or he would have just moved on and did his own thing or something like that.
I honestly don't know how that would have went. Maybe
Mm,
he would have left. Maybe he would have like faked his death or something like that and just got
maybe.
out of there with the money because now he has no point to stay at the school.
Hmm.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like you got all this money and you want to sit around here and play principal for what?
Absolutely no reason.
So I don't know. He could have dipped.
Yeah. I did like the introduction of Grandma Hester.
Yeah.
She was nice. She was a nice little she was a nice character. And I think I like her so much just because I like Morticia and Gomez so much. Like them as parents, I love
Uh
their
huh.
dynamic. So seeing Matricia's mom and seeing how she is, I was like, this makes sense.
More. Grandma Hester is definitely that grandma when your parents tell you no, and she's like, that's my
That's
grandbaby.
my
My
grandbaby. Thank
grandbaby can have that. My grandbaby can have that book. When they was beefing about that book,
you. Yeah.
Wednesday and Morticia was beefing about that book. Hester was like, my grandbaby can have that book. But the one thing I like about Morticia though, she gonna stand on her business about her children though.
She is.
She said,
She is.
she said, I don't give a fuck what you think your grandbaby can have. Boom, and tossed that junk straight into the fire.
Yeah, she slid on her business with that one.
But I do like that towards the end, like part one was really like building up the tension between like Wednesday and Morticia.
It
And
was.
it really gave like like Wednesday is Wednesday. But even with the Addams family being as unusual as they are, you can still feel the teenage rebellious versus mother type complex between Wednesday and Morticia.
Hmm. Yeah, their whole battle that I forget what they called it. It was something in Spanish, I believe, that they did in the
They, oh
woods.
yeah, the fencing thing they did for the book and stuff. Like they handle it in very unusual ways. Because why are
Hmm.
you fencing with your daughter
In the
over
middle
a
of the
book
woods.
in the middle of the woods? But at the same time, it's still that teenage daughter. I'm not finna listen to my mama. Mama, what are you talking about? What are you saying to me right now? Like you doing a
Hmm.
whole bunch of this, and I'm trying to get shit done.
Yeah.
So at the core, I was like, I like this because Wednesday is still a teenager, and Morticia is still a mother, despite all of the kooky little shit that they be doing. But I like that towards the end of the season that Wednesday finally like gives in a little bit, and she was like, you know what, he was not. I don't know if she. It was like you were right, but like that's my mama, that's my dog. She gonna be in my
Yeah.
corner,
Hmm.
and I respect you.
Right. In the end, like, yeah, you really see how tight their family was. When
Mm-hmm.
they were at the gala or the ball thing, when they
Yeah.
came together, they like you can really see like how strong their family is. Like they might argue, like Wednesday might argue with Matricia, but
Mm-hmm.
they ain't let nobody else get between them like
Yeah,
that.
like when the grandma, but given that the grandma was siren song, but when all of the shit came to a head that she was like, I'm gonna give away all my money, and Wednesday, if something along the lines of Wednesday, if you leave your family behind, you can have like you can work alongside me. And
Hmm.
despite everything that been happening between Morticia and Wednesday the whole season, she was like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stand over here with my
With
family.
my Manny.
Right, with
Hmm.
my Mimi. Cause nah.
Yeah,
So
that was
I
nice.
so yeah, to put it like that, I really enjoy the Addams family dynamic. Because even though they might bump heads and they hide secrets and they do all this other, they eat roadkill and spider cookies and shit like that, they like this.
Hmm.
They gonna ride.
Yeah.
Okay? And speaking of the Addams family, I really like the way that they explain why Gomez doesn't have powers.
Oh yeah, that was nice because I just assumed maybe he was just always like that.
But
So
I
giving him that story, that was nice.
but I guess to me, I guess this is my thing. Like I've been saying this the whole time, but because the Adams family is so unnatural in the things that they do, like Gomez going to Nevermore and Gomez being as he is, it never felt weird to me that all of them have supernatural powers except for him because he blends in so well even without it. So
Hmm.
it never like wrecked my brain. Like I never lost sleep that the fact that he can't like see into the future and he doesn't have the electricity thing or he doesn't do anything weird. I was just like, he's here, he's
He,
rocking.
he
Gomez
vibing.
is rocking with us and we're rocking with Gomez. But but when they got into, and this is another reason why I like the Isaac Knight zombie plot situation, because when we really got into it, like with the machine and how they had to use Gomez powers, revealing that Gomez did have powers, and the reason they were gone is because Isaac stole them to remove the hide stuff from Tyler's mom. And I was like, okay, this is a pretty cool explanation on why he doesn't have powers.
Hmm. That was nice. The way they tied all of that together, even like Thing. The Thing
Yes.
got his backstory, his origin story. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they put that in there.
That
The
was
fact
pretty.
that they cut that man Isaac hand off,
Mm-hmm.
and now you part of the family. We're gonna call you Thing.
We don't know what to call you. We're gonna call you Thing. I thought that was pretty cool too when he had like the hand had came to his nub and the stitches was kind of like mind control, like Thing
I
fighting,
was
but
like,
no, he's taking me. He's putting me back.
I said, "Ooh, that's nasty."
It indeed was.
Because not you putting a nub on the nub and it's just stitching up.
And
I was
they
like,
ain't just
okay.
stitching up, and now the connection just goes back, and now you're a regular hand. And I was like, oh, Thing. And then it
Yeah.
was even worse when he has, so Isaac, and then you realize that Isaac has like telekinesis
Hmm.
through Thing. And I guess that kind of makes sense of why Thing is so sentient and can do things, because like you're the
Hmm.
hand. Like he can't
Yeah.
do nothing with his
He
regular
can't.
hand. But as soon as him and Thing locked in, it was
Yeah.
uh
Yeah.
uh.
That does make sense. I didn't even think because I didn't even I guess I didn't think about it, but that having that power is why thinking, yeah, like you said, he's sentient. I never thought about that because I guess I was questioning how did he become alive in a
Hmm.
way, like because they didn't do anything special to him. They cut his hand off and he come crawling up like from the
Well, I
shadows.
well I guess it's like a mix of whatever happened in the experiment with them blowing up that the Iago tower, the clock tower thing, plus the fact that this is the hand where all his power was stored anyway.
Hmm. I wonder if it's like a Frankenstein type thing, with all the electricity and all that type of stuff. It
I mean,
shot the hands.
it reminds you of it the way he had all his machines set up. We in this honestly, it could have been like a Frankenstein. What do they call it? Reference.
Yeah, I could
The
see
way
that.
the way that they had everything all set up. Um, I do want to talk about my favorite episode of the season. Season six, not season six, episode
So
six, the body swap episode was nice. The
that
body
was
swap
nice.
episode, the Lady Gaga cameo, and I was like, this is to me, this is a really good cameo because it doesn't Lady Gaga being there doesn't overshadow like the rest of the plot. Like
It
Lady
didn't.
Gaga came there, served face, and got on out of there, and then the rest of the episode basically carried itself.
Hmm. When I first saw her, I was like, "That Lady Gaga." And
Yeah.
they start playing her music. I was like, "It is." I was like, "Oh, okay." I wasn't expecting that,
Now
but that was nice.
I did see that she was going to be in the season. I was seeing on Twitter that she was going to be in the season. I just didn't know as who she
Hmm.
was going to be, and I thought it was going to be because the other thing about it is that about this season is that Wednesday lost her telekinesis, not telekinesis, her foresight
Hmm.
powers,
Hmm.
and in her spirit guide from the last season is gone because she gave her life force to Wednesday so she can go finish that whole pilgrim thing out. So I was like, okay, is she going to be Wednesday's next spirit guide? And then they did the Weems thing, Professor Weems, how we 13 cousins twice removed. And it's like, okay. And I was like, okay, so where does Lady Gaga get roped into this? And I thought her character was pretty good, pretty cool, the way she just came in and out. But that body swap episode, shout out. I said this at the beginning of the episode, but I'm gonna say it again. Shout out to Jenna Ortega and Emma Myers because that jaunt was crazy.
It was.
I
Yeah.
think
When
they did really good, like portraying the other character and inside. They did the body swap thing. I'm trying to say they did really good with the body swap shit. Like
hmm
Emma Meyer, like the way their personas like completely change. It's like you could feel that this is Wednesday and this is Enid, and they
hmm
just in different bodies. It was you saw it in the way of like body language, demeanor, the way the cadence of their voices change, and if we even want to go into the outfits, um Enid still wears like the black and white Wednesday, but it feels more like her. And then
Take on it.
Wednesday gets all like the black shit that still looks like Enid's clothing, but it's like, okay, I can see if Wednesday wanted to
Yeah.
put a little bit of color in her wardrobe, this is what this
Yeah,
would look
because
like.
it had a little dash of color, and she also put Enid's hair in pigtails, even though
Mm-hmm.
Enid doesn't have as long as hair
I,
as
I,
she does.
I was like, why would
That
you
was
do
funny to
that?
me. That was funny to me because why you put that girl hair in them
Why you
pigtails
got?
like that?
And it could be a just thing that Wednesday don't like her hair touching her face.
That could, and I could see that. Yeah, because she tied it back. It wasn't much to tie back, but she
It
tied
wasn't
it
much to
back.
bet, but she was like, "We gonna do something. We gonna do something."
But they played each other's roles really well. So the way that episode started, it kind of I was thinking it was like this got to be a dream, right? But
Hmm.
it wasn't a dream. They actually got to that point, and I was like, oh, okay. And
I
they
think
did each other's roles perfectly, though.
I agree. I think the way they started the episode was a perfect like shock value. Cause it's like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And I did see rumors on social media that they were doing a body swap episode, but I thought it was gonna be like exposition, something happens, and then the rest of the episode is like body swap. But the way they started it, that episode, I was like, oh yeah. And I think my favorite thing about the episode, and we talked a little bit about this offline too, was Wednesday actually being allergic to color. Now,
That was crazy.
Wednesday says a lot of shit. And she says a lot of shit. And sometimes and I think it's fair to say that some of the shit that Wednesday say she don't be kidding. But
Mm-hmm.
when in season one, when they said she was allergic to color, and Enid was like, okay, so what happens? And she was like, I get hives, I break out and I get hives or something. She says like that. And I was like, and I didn't really pay any mind. I'm just figuring she just says that because she really don't like
Just
the
over
colors.
exaggerating.
Like she's just over exaggerating. When Enid drunk that rainbow shake and her face started breaking out for real, I was like, oh,
She cut up
she
bad.
won. She won. This wasn't a lie. This was real things. This was real things. She's
That was
really
crazy.
allergic to color.
She she went out there in that courtyard and
Oh,
cut
it
up
was,
in front of them cameras.
she did. With the sweater on, the skirt, the lipstick, and then you got Wednesday and Enid Body standing in the back like, I'm gonna kill this bitch.
I was surprised during that episode that more people didn't question what was going on with their personalities and more. I mean, like, yeah, they were like, "You're acting a bit weird," but I guess like even with Matricia, I guess I was surprised she didn't catch on. I mean, I guess it's something that would be hard to like figure out on the spot. Like, oh, y'all must have switched bodies. But I guess I was surprised that she didn't catch on quicker that something's going on with Wednesday.
I think she did realize that something weird was going on with Wednesday. The moment where when Enid first broke out and Wednesday's body first had the allergic reaction to the color shit, and the
Hmm.
scene with her and Morticia in the bathroom, and she called her mom instead of mother, and she kind of picked up and she was like, oh, you ain't never called me that before.
Hmm. I
But
guess
I but
I
I
was expecting her to look into it a bit more, maybe.
well, and I don't know if it was just because there was so many things going on, or maybe she was just like desperate for Wednesday to talk to her as like a mother, because at this point they're still kind of like beefing per se,
Mm,
like
yeah.
they're still at odds, and we know that she wants to have like a deeper connection with Wednesday, or she wants to show Wednesday that she can help out and be there for her. Even though
Hmm.
Wednesday's always like, I can do this shit myself. I don't need your help. I don't need you butting in my shit.
Hmm.
So maybe she did notice something was weird, but because of the nature of how when Enid, as Wednesday, called her mom and how she let her help her and with the rash and stuff like that, maybe she was just like, maybe Wednesday turned a new leaf.
Yeah, that could be it, honestly.
So and the other thing is, I don't know if anybody would ever suspect that it was like a body swap situation.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I guess that would be hard to like put together. Nobody would just be like, "Oh, y'all must have switched bodies off rip like that." So,
And because even
eh,
if Morticia did feel like something weird was going on, do you think her mind would have immediately went to, oh, you must have body swapped with your roommate?
right, yeah, nah, yeah. So that's true. Yeah, that's true. She wasn't gonna be able to put that together,
I
but
think if it wasn't for Weems, if it wasn't for Morticia being able to sense Weems' spiritual presence for her to explain the situation, that honestly, me, them, them girls probably would have been done by the end of the episode.
yeah, they
Honestly,
would have. I thought that was nice too. The way she was able to sense her,
yeah.
Matricia, that was nice. I like that little element because I like when they show that Matricia is just not some basic mom. You know, like with the whole battle in the forest, the way she won that. Like
Well, they said
I
she
like when they
wasn't.
show. Yeah, I
She
know, but
has,
I like when they show it that she still got it. Basically,
well, but other than like the fencing and stuff like that, she has foresight too.
Hmm.
She's her, but she's not a raven like Wednesday. Like I think they refer to her as a dove to where she can see the future, but hers is more like positive, where Wednesday's is more like foreboding and negative and I see dead people type thing. So like she had so it didn't, but I agree it that they have her times where they really show like Morticia is that bitch. Like don't play, don't sleep.
Hmm.
You might come in my house and I might offer you a roadkill dinner and some spider cookies, but I'm still that girl. Don't get
Right.
it, don't
Yeah,
get it
yeah. So
twisted.
so I like when they harped on that for her, you know. She still got it.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my favorite episode of the season. And I think and like I said, part two, they wrapped up those plot lines really well.
Hmm.
I don't think I can say it enough that the zombie plot line, I really think that was really well done.
Yeah. One other person that we haven't talked much about or said anything about was Agnes.
Oh
What do you think about
yeah,
Agnes?
I liked Agnes.
Hmm.
I like going into season two with the whole Wednesday having to handle like the whole popularity thing, coming off the fact that like she saved the whole school and now she has groupies. And when they went to the little school celebration, they painted their picture of her smiling.
They was so wrong for that.
That was so funny because her parents was like, they side eyeing each other like this ain't gonna go well. Wednesday looking like, y'all, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? But
They
I
put her
really,
bad for that.
but I think it was cool to see how Wednesday takes admiration, which is not well.
Mhm.
Um, But I do like seeing like Agnes' growth. I feel like it's that usual trope that we see where you look up to somebody and they just they're keeping you around, but it's like I'm just really just keeping you around because you're useful to me, and then
Mhm.
it all comes to a head in the body swap episode where Enid's basically just had enough. I've had enough of you. I'm going to tell you how I feel about you for real. And
Mhm.
then Wednesday, and then when they switch bodies, Wednesday didn't make it no better.
She didn't. She actually added to. She threw some more wood in the fire to the girl. Poor girl.
She just don't know what to do. But I will say that when she had like fully like disguised, like fully dressed herself up as Wednesday, I was like, okay, now you're doing too
You're
much.
taking it too far.
But
You really are.
I was like,
If you weren't
Wednesday,
taking it far before, you're taking it far
you
now.
went here. And I was like, Wednesday didn't have to say that to you, but at the same time, like you're doing a lot.
But that's what it was gonna
You
have to take, though. Like as
yeah,
she was a fangirl, so that's what it was gonna have to take for her to get the message and to calm down. And I'm glad she
yeah.
calmed down. I'm glad she blossomed into her own person at the end. She started dressing as herself. She started being herself, developing her own character. So I was excited to see that for
But
her.
I really liked her like invisibility and the way that she was coming in like clutch at different moments. Um, what was that scene when she hopped in that trunk? She was trying to be. I was like, why are you in there,
She pissed me off in that trunk because first of all,
Ariel? Ariel, what are you doing?
not only are you in the trunk, but now you're finna make a phone call while you're in the trunk. You don't want to send a text message and be like, "Hey y'all, I'm in this trunk. Come find me. Here's my location." She said, "I'm finna make a phone call,"
And
knowing
then send
damn
you my
well that
location.
hey, so y'all, I'm in this trunk. Come get me. It's dangerous. Some shit finna go down. Okay, bye. Love y'all. Here's my
Love
location.
y'all. XOXO Agnes. I really thought Tyler was finna snatch her up
I
through
did
that
think that.
trunk. Like
That was
they had to have Kixie 107 or something playing in the front because y'all had to
my
have
kids can't hear you because they're listening to Kids Bop.
we can't hear you because we listening to Kids Bop. I know they had to hurt that girl in their trunk making that phone call. Then she had it on speaker and Enid and Wednesday. So I'm like, get out the trunk. Get out.
It's like, what is going on, man?
Nah, she had some plot armor. She's gonna be. I hope she does come back for season 3 because I really like her character. I like that they're like a little trio now.
Mm-hmm. I
So
do too.
and
Yeah, I think their characters. I think they mesh well.
yeah, I think they complement each other. I really like the way that they work together. Um, and going through like the whole and I thought the friend I won't say rivalry, but the whole friendship jealousy thing with Enid and Wednesday and Agnes and we're trying to vie to be Wednesday's friend and then at the end of it it was like, you know what? We can all just be friends.
Michael Jackson put the gun down. Maybe we can.
Wait, we can all be friends.
Yeah, their little dance routine at the end was nice.
That was cool too because that's the dance from okay. I have a lot of thoughts and I was finna start rambling, but here we go. I like the dancing one because Lady Gaga released a song. Like that's a song. I won't say that she made it for Wednesday season 2, but it was nice to have her make a song for the season. And
Hmm.
then the dance is the dance that they do in the music video for the actual song.
Okay,
So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool.
that was nice. I didn't think about that. Hmm.
So let's see what else we got. Let's talk about the end though. So you know at the end they did the same thing that they did in season 1 to where they I guess hint at what the next plot lines are going to be for the upcoming season. So immediately we have Wednesday going to look for Enid. Her and Uncle Fester going to look for Enid. We already talked about Capri and Tyler and wherever the fuck they going. But then
Mhm.
they showed Grandma going into the basement and Aunt Ophelia has been in the basement and she writes Wednesday must die or something like
Oh
that
yeah, I
on the
forgot about
wall.
that. Yeah, that
So
was
that's
weird.
like so then it's like this a whole nother family secret because as far as Morticia knew, she said her mama sent Aunt Ophelia away.
Hmm.
Whole time Aunt Ophelia in the basement,
Basement locked up.
locked up. So we don't know what grandma has been using her for. Has she been using like her raven powers to maybe like gain foresight into um competitors or different things that's going on with the family to keep her on top or in I don't know what I was gonna say next, but now what's T?
Hmm.
Why Wednesday gotta die?
Was that already what when she? I can't remember when the grandma walked in. Was she surprised about what was on the wall, like as if it was new, or was it like already there and she knew? Because I'm wondering
She,
if she has her locked up because this is some premonition that she already knew about, and she's trying to keep her at bay to kind of maybe protect the family or something like that.
I to me she didn't look surprised, but at the same time, grandma is kind of like Wednesday. How Wednesday sees certain stuff that should be like, oh, jump scare, but then they kind of just look like they just tuck it in their back pocket
Yeah,
for
that's true.
later.
Hmm.
So on the outside, she didn't look shocked, but she could have looked at this and been like, "Ah, shit,
Hmm.
what's this about?
Yeah, because as
Ah,
we've
shit,
seen, if
here
the
we go
grandma's gonna
again."
protect anybody, it's gonna be on Wednesday. So,
But you also have to think about why does she have Ophelia locked in the basement?
hmm,
So it's like,
yeah.
is and with Wednesday basically just saying like, "F you, grandma, I'm finna go be with my family." Did that cause some kind of rift in the relationship?
Mm, that's true. Because
not saying that I think that she's just going to like not say anything and let whatever come for her granddaughter come for her granddaughter. But what's the I think there are some questions. Why you got my auntie locked in the basement? What are you going to do with this information? And
yeah, I can
if you
only
do tell
imagine.
somebody, who are you going to tell?
Yeah. I can only imagine that she put her in the basement just to protect, like maybe to protect her from herself, because as we've seen, those premonitions can do damage.
Yeah.
Um, and especially if you like leap too far into them, they can really they can really do some damage. So I wonder if she like we're gonna have to lock you up because you going crazy. These dark premonitions that you having, they're driving you crazy, and we have to keep you at bay. So I wonder if it was something like that.
Yeah, or maybe like not foreshadowing, but kind of giving us like what Wednesday's fate could be if she had continued to use her powers or abuse her powers, per Morticia's words, to that
Mhm.
point. And another thing to think about, if Aunt Ophelia is the one who abused her raven powers and went, like they said, went mad, can her premonition even be trusted? Or is this a misinterpretation of some sorts?
It could be. Yeah.
Like
Mm.
on the surface level, it's Wednesday must die, but like if we go deep down into like where this premonition came from, are we kind of like misinterpreting what's going on?
Hmm. Yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
be interesting. That's gonna be another plot line that's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, that, and like I said before, I'd be interested to see where the Enid werewolf story goes into, because I think they gave one. I was happy for Enid, for fully like going like getting her werewolf pack and being able to like wolf out and stuff like that. But now we're taking it to another level to, it's like, not only that you could wolf out girls, it's like you're the wolf.
You're the
You're
yeah. You the
the
big
wolf.
bad wolf.
You big dog. And um and after all of like the preventative steps they were trying to do to not have her transform in the full moon, and her having to do it anyway to save Wednesday because she's a true what?
A
Ooh.
true friend.
Right. I'll be interested to see what how I'm definitely interested to see how that goes forward, and how, because we've seen the way that society reacts to like hides, because we've been doing the whole Tyler thing this whole time. But now that Enid has run away, and like you said, could season 3 be us away from Nevermore? How does the general public and all the other creatures that could be out there react to Enid being a werewolf?
And
And
if the
how
other wolves are gonna come after her now that she's like that, because that's what they were saying, right? The other wolves will hunt her down when she like fully transforms or something like that.
I think I do remember them saying that, which is why Wednesday, why she was telling Wednesday like, are you gonna ask, you know, will you come find me? And why Wednesday was adamant when they did leave the school, she was like, no, I'm going, Uncle Fester, we finna go find Enid. So I'm definitely interested to see how that whole werewolf thing is, how that goes. Um, but that's pretty much it. Hopefully they don't take another 3 years to put a season out, but hey.
I was gonna say that, yeah, but we'll see.
We gonna have we'll see. But that's pretty much all I had for Wednesday season 2. You had anything else, Antoine?
Not really. I really hope we get to see some. They. I hope they explore the world a bit more. So I really look forward to that. I hope.
I agree. The minute you brought that up, I think that opens up the Wednesday world a bit more if we are able to go into what's outside of Nevermore. And even though I said this at the beginning, like I kind of want them to drop the Tyler thing off. I think Capri, the music teacher, taking Tyler to wherever that safe haven is another way for us to get like more of the world
Yeah.
as
Hmm.
well.
See some more then.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if everybody just ends up in the same place because that's how the shit go anyway.
It
Wednesday in the
is
same place as the goddamn Hyde Center, and Wednesday on the way there, and they just all clash
meet in the
together.
middle.
I went dance, meet in the middle, dance all night. I
Yeah, I
I
can see
wouldn't be
that.
surprised at all.
Hmm. But yeah, that's not it.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and shut this down. So, once again, thank you, Antoine, for joining me on another episode of the Blurred Mob podcast. For everybody who tuned in into the episode, whether this is your first time or 50th time checking us out, it is much appreciated. If you enjoyed this mob review and want to hear more reviews from us, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave us a comment and let us know how you felt about Wednesday Season 2. And make sure to follow us on our social media platforms. We're on Instagram at the Blurred Mob Pod. We're on Twitter at the Blurred Mob, and you can find us on Facebook and TikTok at the Blurred Mob Podcast. And with all that being said, this is the Mob checking out. Peace.
I think Wednesday has been pretty good. I was definitely worried that I wouldn't be into it, like after watching season one and it being just a time gap, because I was like, I haven't watched that in a while, and I didn't remember like how thorough.